Okay, so we're gonna get started just sitting comfortably on our mats. So you can sit in a cross-legged position if that feels good. If you like to have a little bit of padding underneath your hips, you could take a block and place it underneath your seat or a rolled up towel, or just something so that you can feel like you can really sit very upright without having strain in the low back. So sometimes it's nice to put something under your seat. And then sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes and bring your hands to heart center, to the symbol of the shape of a prayer, Anjali Mudra, and just take a few breaths there. Just breathing in fully and breathing out fully. And again, like that, breathing in fully and breathing out fully. And then take your hands from the prayer and place one hand flat on your heart and one hand flat on your belly. And then just continue with those slow, deep breaths, but now allowing yourself to really feel with the hands the expansion of the belly and the chest on your inhale. And then the softening of the chest and the belly on your exhale. And just allowing yourself the opportunity to watch your breath here, to focus the mind on watching the breath coming into the body, the filling up, the expansion, and then that letting go, that softening of the exhale. So a few more breaths there, filling up and letting go. And then gently release your hands down to your lap. You can flutter your eyes open. And then as you inhale, spread your hands, your arms out to the sides, filling up with air as you reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, again, taking the hands wide, bringing them back down to your sides. And let yourself create a little bit of resistance with the arms. So it's like moving your arms through water. Again, inhale, reaching the hands up to the sky, just taking a big breath in. Exhale, creating that resistance, pressing the air away as the hands go down. Just one more half time. Inhale, reaching the hands up to the sky, big breath all the way in. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground, stretch your left hand up and over your head for a nice side body stretch. Really try to heavy down through your left sits bones to keep the stretch really long through the side body. Inhale, stretch even longer with the hand, and then as you exhale, draw your left shoulder back towards the back of the room, spin your heart up towards the sky, but notice that the right shoulder doesn't come forward. Try to keep that broad as well, so you're broadening through the collarbones as you come into this lateral flexion in the spine. And then inhale, make your way back up through center, stretch both hands up to the sky. And then exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground this time. Right hand stretches up and over the body. Get really heavy down through those right sits bones. So you're feeling really connected to the ground and then stretching up and out with your hand. Again, one more big breath in here. And then as you exhale, draw right shoulder back, open your heart towards the sky, and then continue to draw the left shoulder back so you're really widening through the collarbones, almost leaning back. Inhale, reach both hands up to the sky. We're just going to do that one more time each side, letting the right hand come down to the ground, finding that nice long side stretch. And this time, if you want to come even deeper, you might start to walk your left hand out, your right hand out, even bringing your elbow down to the ground, but still staying really heavy down through that left sitting bone. And then inhale your way back through center, reach both hands up high. Exhale, bring the left hand down, right hand stretches up and over. And again, you can kind of tiptoe the left fingers out to the side, reaching out far enough that maybe the elbow even comes down to the ground, but keep trying to push that sitting bone heavy to get that nice long side stretch. Great, and then inhale, make your way back up through center, just reach both hands high. Exhale, bring your hands out in front of you. You're gonna roll over your shins, make your way into a tabletop position. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. And just begin with a couple rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, tip the pelvis, drop the belly, really reach the heart forward and look up, filling up with air. And then as you exhale, tuck the tail, belly draws back, push the floor away to draw the heart space back, tuck the chin. And just 2 more times like that. Inhale, tipping the tail, dropping the belly, looking forward, filling up. Exhale, belly draws back, tuck the tail, chin draws in, push the floor away. And 1 more time, inhaling into your cow spine, the belly drops, the heart reaches forward. Exhale, belly draws in and up, tuck the tail. Make your way to a neutral spine, and then shift your weight into your right knee. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Now you can come up onto blocks here if you like, if you have them, or you can just come up onto fingertips, or if that isn't accessible for you, you can just walk your hands up onto your thigh. And then from there, we're gonna try to press the hips forward for like a really early lizard lunge. So staying up on your hands or on fingertips, not coming down onto forearms quite yet. But do try to keep the heart reaching forward. Big inhale here. And a big exhale out. 1 more big inhale. And then as you exhale, push down into the left heel to draw your hips back for a runner's lunge. So hips are over the right knee, left leg is straight. If you want a little bit more sensation, you might flex through the left foot, but keep staying on fingertips or hands on the ground, or again, blocks, or if you need, hands can be on the thigh. And then moving with your breath, as you inhale, bend into the left knee, reach the hips forward, heart reaches forward. As you exhale, draw the hips back, lengthen through the left leg. Twice more like that. Inhale, reaching the heart forward, bend the knee. Exhale, draw the hips back, draw the heart back. 1 more time, inhale, bend the knee, reach the heart forward. Exhale, draw the hips back, draw the heart back. Just a big inhale here, and a big exhale out. Bend the left knee again. Now this time, tuck your toes, lift the back knee off the ground, and then step your right foot outside your right hand. Turn your toes out, your heels in, lower your seat down for a squat. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable, you only come down as much as you can feel long in the spine. So right now, your squat might be a little bit more lifted. If you're feeling more open, it might be lower down to the ground. You can also take a blanket or a towel or a block and place it underneath the tush for a little bit more support. Let's take a big inhale here and a big exhale out. Bring your hands down to the ground out in front of you. Pivot your toes so that they're parallel to the top of the mat. Press down into your right foot. This time step your left foot back. Bring your left knee down to the ground. And then walk your hands back a little bit so that they're in line with the right knee. And then start to reach the heart forward. We're in the supported lizard lunge on the other side. So again, you can stay up on hands, you can come up onto blocks or fingertips, heart reaches forward. Big breath in here. And a big breath out. Stay for 1 more big inhale, reaching the hips forward, lifting through the chest. And 1 more exhale. And then draw the seat back, lengthen through the right leg for the runner stretch. Hips are over the left knee this time. And again, you can flex through the right foot. If you'd like a little bit more sensation in the back of the leg, it's pretty early in the practice, so just be mindful of where you can stay with the breath without pushing too much. And then moving with the breath, as you inhale, bend the right knee, reach the heart forward, sink down to the hips. As you exhale, draw the hips back, straighten through the right leg. Again, like that, inhale, bend the knee, reach the heart forward. Exhale, draw the hips back, straighten the leg. And just one more time like that, inhale, press the knee forward, press the hips forward, reach to the heart. Exhale, draw the hips back. Good. Inhale, just come forward into that supported low lunge. And this time, step your right knee back so you're back in that tabletop position. Widen your knees as wide as your mat, toes together. Press your hips back for a child's pose, but let it be a really active child's pose. So come up onto your fingertips and then start to tiptoe your fingertips over to the right side of your mat. Push down into your fingertips to press your hips back towards your left heel. But really try to find that side stretch in the left side of your body. Even sending the breath more into the left ribs. Just use the breath to stretch all those little muscles in the ribcage. And then tiptoe your fingers back through center and over towards the left side of your mat. Again, really pushing down into finger pads to press the hips back down towards the right heel this time. And then really sending the breath into the right ribs. So trying to really inflate through the right lung, stretching all those little intercostal muscles in the ribs. And then make your way back through center, lift up into your tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal through your feet, shift your hips from side to side, just making any little movements that feel good. And then looking forward to the top of your mat, start walking towards the top of your mat, but step your feet as wide as your mat for your forward fold. So take a big bend in your knees, and if it's accessible, you can even kind of snuggle your ribs in between your thighs, bending your knees, just allowing yourself to be really free through the upper body. And then keeping your feet wide, bend your knees, tuck your tail, draw belly in, slowly roll your way up to stand. Inhale, reach both hands up to the sky. Exhale, just bring your hands to heart center. Take a big breath in here and a big breath out. And then inhale, lift your hands up to the sky. Hold onto your right wrist with your left hand and lean over to the left, just taking a nice long side stretch here. Big inhale here. And exhale out. And then inhale, make your way up to center. Hold on to the left wrist with the right hand and then lean over to the right. Try to keep length in the right side body. And then make your way up to stand. Big inhale with hands raised, or Astavakrasana. Exhale, fold all the way down to the ground for a wide Uttanasana. Inhale, take a big step back with your right leg for a low lunge. And then exhale, press into your hands, left foot meets right in a downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into your plank pose. As you exhale, you can lower halfway to Chaturanga or all the way down to your belly. Inhale, press into hands to the tops of the feet for your baby cobra or your up dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high for a three-legged dog. Exhale, step it outside of the right hand for a wide low lunge. Inhale, straighten both legs, bowing forward for a wide Parsvottanasana. And then as you exhale, bend the right knee, step the left foot outside the left hand, lower the seat for a squat, hands come to heart center. But take a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, hands come down to the ground, hips lift up to the sky. But inhale, stand all the way up to stand, hands raise high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow all the way back down to the ground, Uttanasana. Inhale, big step back with your left leg for a low lunge. And then exhale, right foot will meet left in your downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into a plank pose. Exhale, lower half or all the way. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high this time, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it outside of the left hand for your wide low lunge. Inhale, step your right foot wide of your right hand. Lower your seat down as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a big inhale here in your squat with a lift of the pelvic floor. As you exhale, straighten your legs, hands come down for a wide forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, hands reach high, big inhale in. Exhale, fold all the way down to the ground. Inhale, lift up halfway, reach your heart forward. And then exhale, fold forward, step your feet a little bit closer together. Inhale again, reaching the heart forward, finding length in the spine. And then exhale, bend your knees. You can plant your hands, either hop back to your chaturanga or step back to a plank pose, lower half or all the way. We'll inhale into our back bend, so our up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale here and a big exhale out. One more time like that, big inhale in, big exhale out. Inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between your hands, spin your back heel down for a warrior two. So press down into your right heel, carve a left hand up and back, reach through both hands, lower the hips. And especially for today, find the abduction of the right knee, the pressing of the right knee away from the midline, so towards the pinky toe. Big breath in here, big breath out. Flip your right hand, reach up and back for a peaceful warrior. Now stay in your peaceful warrior. Take your left hand, hold onto your right wrist, and then help stretch the right wrist, the right arm straight, coming even deeper into that side bend. And then let that go. Bring right forearm onto right thigh. Reach left hand up and over your head for an extended side angle. Take a big inhale here. And a big exhale out. Bring your left hand behind your head and then open your chest up towards the ceiling. Try to lean back into the left hand. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Re-extend the left hand and then exhale, bring your left hand down on the inside of your right foot. Bring your right hand down on the inside as well. Heel toe your right foot a little bit wider. And you can bring your left knee down to the ground, or if you're feeling warmer and you want to keep that right knee up for your lizard lunge, you can make that choice as well. If you have the back knee lifted, just be mindful of what's happening in the right hip. You don't want your right hip to sag down. Just put a little energy in it so it stays in line, the left hip, so it stays in line with the right hip. Keep reaching your heart forward. If this feels okay, you might come down onto forearms or bring your forearms down onto blocks. Big breath. Big breath out. If you're on forearms, make your way back up to your hands. Bring your back knee down to the ground and then stretch the right leg long, again for that runner's lunge. Big breath in. Big breath out. Rebend the right knee, tuck the back toe, and then straighten both legs for a wide pyramid pose. You can bring blocks under your hands. You can come up onto fingertips, or just keep your right knee bent as much as you need to have the support of the floor. Start to walk your hands to the left, spin all 10 toes to the left for a wide straddle fold, but stay upright. Just walk your hands out so that they're underneath your shoulders. Spin your toes out, your heels in. Bend the right knee, lowering your seat towards your right heel. Spin up on the left toes for Skandasana. Hands can come to heart center if you like, or hands can be on the floor with support. But again, be mindful of not letting the weight just sink down. Try to find a little bit of a lift. Push down into the right heel to make your way over to the other side. Right toe spin up towards the ground, hips drop down towards the left heel. Again, hands can stay at heart center, or they can come down to the floor. Push down into your left heel to pivot your way towards the back of the mat, or you can spin around towards the other way if you're facing the computer in a way that makes more sense for you. And then press down into your hands to a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step it between your hands, spin your back heel down, warrior two. Hands reach wide, finding the strength of the legs, that pressing away of the left knee. Flip your front hand, tip up and back, peaceful warrior. And then reach up with right hand, hold on to left wrist. Stretch your left wrist back towards the back of the room, straightening the left arm. Don't lose the bend in the left knee. As you exhale, bring left forearm down to left thigh. Right hand reaches up and over your head. Big breath in here. Big breath out. And then bring your right hand behind your head. Start to lean back and open into that hand, spinning your chest up towards the ceiling. Big breath in here. Big breath out. And then bring both hands down on the inside of your left foot. Heel toe your left foot wide for your lizard lunge. Again, right knee can come down. It can stay lifted. Just being mindful of what feels accessible. You can come down onto forearms or stay up on your arms, or on your hands. But try not to cave in through the heart. Rather, let the heart shine forward. And then walk your hands back, draw the hips back, Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose, wide leg. Big breath in, big breath out. I'm going to stay here for one more breath. Big breath out. And then walk your hands towards the center so you're in that wide squat or that wide forward fold. Head comes down. This time, just allowing yourself kind of fold forward. Big breath in here. Big breath out. And then just walk yourself so you're facing the front of your mat. And you're going to come to sit down. And stretch your legs wide apart for Uttanasana, wide straddle fold. And just sit up nice and tall. Bring your left hand to your left shin, reach your right arm up and over your head for a side stretch. Big breath in. And big breath out. And then make your way up through center. And just over to the other way, right hand comes down, left hand reaches over. Big breath in. And big breath out. And then sit up nice and tall. Bring your legs to center. So bring your left knee in towards your chest. Bend your left knee. You're going to hold onto your big toe with the peace fingers of your left hand and draw your knee back towards your elbow and then stretch it out long. So we're going to go back and forth like this, kind of like we're like doing a bow and arrow, like stretching the bow back and forward. And then take your left shin across your body, and you're gonna hold onto the outside of your foot with your right hand. And you're just gonna kind of rock your shin back and forth in front of you, like you're kind of rocking a baby. You can bring the outside of your foot into your inside of your elbow if that feels good, or you can hook the shin on your arms if that feels good. Just kind of trying to open and warm up the outer hip. And then hold on to the outside of your left foot with your right hand. Try to sit up pretty tall. Your right leg can be long out on the floor in front of you, or you can bend it if that feels better to you, a little bit more stable. And then really draw the left knee back like a half happy baby. From there, take your left arm and you're gonna try to thread it underneath the left leg. And instead of putting your hand just out to the side, can you put it a little bit further back so that you have something you can kind of rock back into and lean into? That actually helps make compass pose a little bit more accessible, is if you bring your hand back, you can lean back, and from there, try to press that leg straight. Maybe you look underneath the armpit over towards the right. And you might just be here for today, and that's totally fine, but just try to find that idea of leaning back to make the pose a little bit more accessible. And then you can let that go when you're ready to let that go. Just let that leg have a rest for a moment. Stretch both legs out long, and then reach forward for the right big toe with your right peace fingers. Draw your knee back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And then bring the right leg across the body. Just kind of giving it a little bit of a rock, knee to the right and then to the left. And then hold on to the outside of the foot, so your hand comes over your foot, and hold on to the outside of the right foot with the left hand. Take your right hand, thread it underneath the right leg, and then reach it out to the side and then kind of back behind you. So you have something you can kind of rock back into, and then from there, rather than trying to yank the leg with your arm, just try to flex your foot, maybe straighten your leg, let your arm come with it, and then find that opening, that spinning open of the chest, like we did in our sun side angle. And then slowly let that go, bend the knee, just let it go on that side. Wiggle out your legs for a second. Okay. So now, again, bend the right knee, draw it in towards your chest, and find that same placement of the hand. So the right hand comes over the top of the left foot, hold on to the outside of the foot. Okay, drawing the knee back again. That same motion with the left arm comes underneath the body. Now, instead of bringing your left hand back by your tush like you did before, bring your left hand forward this time. So it's about in the center of your right thigh. So you want to be able to rock forward this time instead of back. Okay. Clamp down on the tricep with your left leg. So squeeze the leg so much that you can hold it there with just the leg. The right hand is free. Now bring your right hand down to the ground so it's in line with the left hand. Again, forward, so like around where your knee is, maybe a little behind the knee. Squeezing onto the tricep. Lift your right leg up, try to hook it on top of the left foot. And then from there, we're gonna start to lean forward, squeeze the elbows in and back, in and back. And as you lean forward, the weight is gonna start to come into your hands. Once you feel the weight in your hands, you're gonna try to push your arms straight and then squeeze your inner thighs together to keep the legs really engaged. Press through the heels, and then maybe the elbows lower down a little bit with heart reaching forward. But the legs are holding themselves there. Because the more active you are in your legs, the easier it's gonna be to get your tush off the ground. So let's try to go through that. Let's talk through that side one more time, and then we'll do it on the other side. I feel like there's a lot going on. So reach down with your, bring your left leg in. Hold on to the outside of your left foot with your right hand. Okay. Take your left arm, thread it underneath your leg, place your hand down on the floor, mid-right thigh. Squeeze your left leg on your left arm. Bring your right hand down to the ground so it's in line with your left arm. Pick up your right leg, hook it on top of your left foot. Okay? And then squeeze your elbows in towards your body, bend your elbows back to try to rock yourself forward. The second your tush comes off the ground, push the arms straight, squeeze the thighs towards each other, reach to the heels, reach the heart forward, knee to the elbows bend. So let's do that on the other side. Legs go straight. Bend your right leg. Hold on to outside of right leg with left hand. Thread the right arm underneath the right leg. Bring your right hand to the ground so it's mid-left thigh. Bring your squeeze your right thigh or your right tricep with your right leg. Bring your left hand down to the ground so it's in line with the right. Hook left foot on top of right. Start to lean forward as you bend your elbows back. And then push into your arms, squeeze your legs towards each other. Hips reach back, heart reaches forward. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Right leg bends back. Hold on to right outer foot with left hand. Take your right arm, hook it underneath your right leg. Place your right hand down on the ground, mid-left thigh. Squeeze your right tricep with your right leg, like draw your heel towards your seat. Bring your left hand down to the ground so it's in line with the right. Hook your left foot on top of your right foot. Flex your feet to keep them there. And then keeping that squeeze in the arm, start to reach the heart forward, draw the elbows back. And the second your tush comes up, squeeze your thighs towards each other. Reach the heart forward, reach the hips back. And then when you're ready to let that go, just find a seat, that same seat we found at the beginning of class. If you remember which foot was in front, go ahead and find the opposite. If you don't worry about it. Sit up nice and tall. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. And just a few more breaths like that, watching the inhale, feeling the filling up, feeling the newness of the inhale and the expansion of the inhale. And then that softening, the letting go of the exhale. Big inhales in. Big exhale out. Slowly put your hands up to heart center, just taking a moment of gratitude for this break in your day, to connect to yourself, to connect to your body. Thank you all so much for showing up. Namaste.